During this episode at Disconnection, we will be speaking to Daine Chang, who will share with us real and relatable stories covering a range of topics from his unique perspective. So, Daine, hey, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you have a busy schedule. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, and we'll take it from there.
Well, guys, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Where should I start? I've been doing training for close to 18 plus years. I used to work in the hospital as a doctor's assistant. It was really cool. I learned a lot, but it's just my passion was more towards personal training and, helping people in a different way, preventing them from going to the hospital. I've always been an athlete, over the years. What else?
High school sports or college sports? Or anything like that?
Both. I ran track in college and ran track in high school. Went to Montclair State University. A lot of things have changed though at that college, like tuition, first of all.
Tuition everywhere has changed.
Tuition. Yeah. So I got into fitness. Weird story.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to McDonald's. Don't judge me.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
So I'm outside eating a burger. I forgot what it was. So the manager at the gym, Bally Total Fitness, well, it's now 24-hour fitness, in Saddlebrook, came outside and said, hey, you know what? You can't eat out here. So I gave him like a weird look like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, I'm hungry. So,
Right.
So he looked at me and was like, hey, you look pretty decent, fit. How would you like a job? So I thought someone was playing around with me because I was eating outside.
Right.
So he's like, okay, come in tomorrow. We'll go over everything, check out the gym, and take it from there. So I was like, okay, this guy must be joking. And,
Right.
it's so next day came in, filled out the application, looked around, and, started shadowing people because, like, at first you have to get certified in order to train.
Right.
So I started shadowing for like a week or two, and at the time I was working at the hospital. So I'm like, you know what, I kind of like this. So I completely quit my job at the hospital.
Wow.
And started doing training, and it was just something that every week I started learning different things, started learning more about the human body. I already knew about the human body, but how it functions, how it moves, what you can eat to make it better, what you can do to let it grow. It was a lot of different things, and it was pretty cool.
When you were shadowing people, you said you were working out already, and you've done sports in high school and in college, so you already knew how to work out. But this was more of a strict, learning how the body exactly is moving, what muscles are flexing at what point, type of deal.
Correct. I knew how to work out, but I didn't know what muscle groups to work on or what to eat before workout, just to give you a little bit of energy. It was just a little bit more science behind it, because any average person go to the gym, you're like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do upper body or a little legs, but you don't know the reason why you're doing upper body, or what movements should you do to let that muscle grow. So over the period of time, I kind of caught on to little different things from some of the veteran trainers that I was around, which was a big help, because being a new guy, they don't really embrace you. They're like, oh man, this guy's here to take my clients. And,
Right. Competition. Right.
Yeah, but it was different. It was like, hey, let me teach you. They pretty much held my hand in every step of the way. And I think that's what actually made me a better trainer, more seasoned, I should say, with the help from them.
Did you feel that the guy who caught you outside with the hamburger originally, was he a mentor kind of figure in this area, or he was just working there?
He was just working there because when was it? I got there that time, then a month later, because they normally, the turnover there with the managers and everything, he switched over. I think it was just by faith. It's okay, what are the odds?
Right.
I think back, okay, if I was just out there just eating, He could have just like not said anything to me, like, okay, let's just go.
Sounds like a pivotal moment.
Yeah,
I mean,
like it actually it was like it was like big a big turning point like in my life, like to be totally honest. Like I like what I did, with the being a doctor's assistant and everything. Like that was cool. Like
When you say doctor's assistant, it's kind of like a nurse. Like, were you
like
more
a surgery tech.
okay?
Yeah. So it was, like minor surgery, major surgery. Like it's cool, but it's just I don't know. I didn't have a passion for it. Like I had a passion for helping people, which
Right.
was good. But this like training was like a different thing. It's like, man, like this lady was in a wheelchair and 3-4 months from now, like she's in walking with crutches. 3-4 months from now, like she's like actually walking.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, like it's a very humbling thing. That not to say that like you did it, but just to see the process because you appreciate like, like your own self. Like we take things for granted, like standing, walking, like lifting a cup, and some people can't. But to see them like grow over a period of time, like it's really cool to see that.
It's got to be a sense of fulfillment in that, and
Absolutely.
it's not even that you are doing it. You're there to assist them and help them grow, and you're helping, your assisting mindset, where you like to help people. That's got to be where that stems from, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm
wanting to help people stand up.
yeah, I'm pretty much a helper, like by nature. Like that's just me. Like if I see someone doing something or something's wrong, like I'm right away. I'm over there helping. So it's a gratifying feeling to be able to do that.
It's obviously a fantastic thing to do. Can I ask if maybe do you think that came from anything interesting that happened in your family growing up? Did you guys feel like you needed help maybe growing up, or wish there was somebody there for you?
Looking back, no, I just think that was just me, like by nature. Well, I had friends, and
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I'm from Camden, New Jersey, so growing up, it was pretty tough. Like
Right.
it's a really tough area, let's just say. So like I had friends that were like, being bullied, and me, I'm not gonna sit back and watch someone get picked on. So
Right.
like by just nature, like I just stepped in, and from there it's just something that is just in me. Like
Did you feel like you got into a lot of fights when you were younger because of these sort of things?
I got into like a few fights, but it wasn't because of that. It was just I guess the cool kids wanted to test you, and you have to stand up for yourself, or
Right.
every day they're gonna keep picking on you. And
Dog eat dog world.
yeah, like
Yeah.
exactly. So
Gotta show your shit.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like
It's kind of like that in every culture, so to speak, right? Because you're stepping into the working out and the trainer's world, and they're like, "Oh, is this guy going to take my clients?" It's
correct.
that dog eat dog world where a lot of guys, at least,
Mm.
have that alpha mentality of like, I got to prove I'm the best, and everyone else is nowhere
Well
near my
said.
level, type of thing. And when you come in with that humble attitude, they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what's happening?"
Yeah,
What are you
it's
doing?
and
Yeah.
I think that's what the main thing was. Like when I started as a trainer, like I didn't come in there saying like, hey, like I know a lot. It was like, hey, I know absolutely nothing. Teach me. Like that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to grow, trying to help. That's it. So it was it was a good feeling to have like the veterans like take me under their wings and like show me different exercises. When I started, like I was 145 pounds. So
No way.
yeah, I was skinny.
How tall are you?
145 pounds at what 5'8" at the time.
And how tall are you?
5'9" and a half now.
Okay. And how much
So
do you weigh?
now I weigh 217 to
Oh my
220.
God.
Yeah, but my heaviest was 250.
Yeah, wow.
Pure
Yeah,
muscle?
Wow.
Pure, well, yeah, muscle, of course.
Is that
I mean,
for,
you are muscle now.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
some muscles? I'm
Trying to
looking at the
show you.
Terminator across from me over here.
Trying to get there still. So it was they really helped me. Like I had two good friends. I could call them friends now, Emil and Mike. Every morning, like I would come in, and one of the guys, they worked at a restaurant. So every morning they would like come in, and I would see like a big like 3 turkey legs, like 6 slices of bread, oatmeal, and like 2 or 3 like long dinosaur ribs
Whoa.
on the table with some egg whites, and I had to eat that every morning.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Yeah, so every morning, like, that it would be there, like a given. So I think I jumped up from 145, I jumped up to 200 within 6 months.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And just stuffing all these calories
Yeah,
and lifting.
yeah, it
and
was
just
a
letting
lot
you
of
do
like,
that.
and the workouts, they taught me, like the fundamentals of working out, the science of working out, and like what the body can like actually really do. But it's the mind first, because they put me in a state to say, hey, listen, like you have to get your mind right before like you can do anything else. Like once the mind is right, then the body will follow. So it was like a whole kind of like Zen thing,
Cool.
but which was like really cool, man.
In the Stoic philosophy, there's something called voluntary discomfort, where it is kind of a Zen thing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, which that's really what working out is. You're
Yeah.
putting your body through some pain,
Yeah.
and you come out of it stronger, more resilient,
Mhm.
a more what's the word? Mature person is really
Correct.
what it is when you put yourself through discomforts in general.
Yeah.
I mean, in our society especially, we really want to just be like comfortable. We want to make sure that everyone is okay and don't, oh, you're in pain, like let me help you. Like there's a difference between someone who's actually in pain and someone who's just like lazy or like doesn't want to do something.
Sitting
Yeah.
across from the prime example over here.
In general, our society, we create that type of person though.
Of course. But
Yeah.
that's the only way that you're gonna grow. I think if you put yourself in a, like you said, an uncomfortable environment, like it only makes you better. It only pushes you to want more, or like take like the next step.
Mhm.
And which is, I think everyone should put themselves in a certain situation just to get them to the next level.
It's tough. I mean, for me, honestly, like I've wanted to be in very good shape very many times, but at the same time a pretty lazy guy. Like just as you're saying, it's very easy to be comfortable. This is the world we live in. It can pacify you. You're sitting, you're watching TV, you can play your video games, whatever. You eat McDonald's for
Yeah.
$2 and you're a
Yeah.
happy guy.
It's true.
So I get into the gym and I'll start going, and then after a week and a half, I'm already getting over it.
Yeah, well, it's more of like you should think like it's not more of like a physical thing, like hey, I want to look good, but it should be like hey, like I want to feel better. I want to get up out of the chair without like putting my hands on my knees to push myself up.
Right.
So it's more energy. Like you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh my gosh, like I have to go through this day. I'm like dying right now. As
And you just
opposed
woke
to
up.
yeah, like that's
Yeah,
bad.
I know
Like,
that.
exactly. As opposed to like you're just like you wake up, you're like, all right, let's go. Like I'm ready. Like
Hell yeah.
it's,
Well, that's what I could tell. I mean, I see the difference literally between me and Kyle when
Yeah.
he's good to go in the
Yeah.
morning. You know what I mean? For me, I'm like an hour and I'm still freaking wiping cobwebs off my eyes. So I definitely see the benefits here. It's so tough to get into the mindset for like, what would you say for like a genuine person like me? Or you could just say it to me. What the hell should I do? I mean, I have a very hard time motivating myself.
you know
and
what? I
keeping
would
it
just
going.
say just baby steps. So just pick a goal and say, hey, you know what? For the week, let's try one day out of the week that I'm going to go to the gym.
Okay.
That's it. It doesn't have to be 4 or 5, whatever times, just one time. One time for 30 minutes. Like, okay, you can do 30 minutes because, you sacrifice whatever, either reading a book or watching TV for 30 minutes. You know what? Make some time for you, like for
It
30
definitely
minutes.
feels more manageable saying
Yeah,
it as
one
just one
time out of the week. And then from the one time, you never know. You're like, hey, I like this working out thing.
Right.
You know what? Let me just try 2 times. And even if it's 2 times for 3 months, it's better than nothing. But you're being consistent because every week you're going 1 or 2 times to the gym. And, it's eventually you'll just get that bug to say, hey, like, I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm sleeping better. I'm moving better. And you just take it from there.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
I just got problems myself, I think.
Well,
No.
like working out, it's tough. Like, like I have problems too, like
Right.
myself, to like stay motivated and to work out like consistently every year, every month, every week. Like sometimes you get burnt out. You're like,
Sure.
man, I can't do this. But when you feel that way, it's good to take like that week off and then come back like,
You don't
like,
want to overkill yourself.
yeah, because, too much of anything is not good for you.
Right.
So you just have to, find a balance.
Would you say that baby steps are the secrets to fitness goals?
Yes, I honestly would say that. It's but first, like I said before, it's all the mindset first, because you can go to the gym that one time or two times, but you still have the mindset to say, hey, like, I'm going to do it.
Mhm.
You don't want to just go through the motion. Like, you want to go there and say, like, okay, like, I'm slowly getting to like it, and if you want to throw like another day in there, that's cool.
Right. To want it enough to take those baby steps is important.
Correct. And you know what helps? Like a good support team. Because let's say that you have a buddy going to the gym, prime example.
Right.
What up?
It
Let's go.
it kind of helps, because like if you see them going to the gym, like, okay, why is this guy going to the gym like 6-7 times out of the week?
Definitely.
So you want to try like that one time and be like, okay, and then you can compare like, hey, how do you do this exercise? Or, like, do you ever feel like when you're on a treadmill and 5 minutes into running or walking, you're like out of breath? Like, like it's little things that they can relate with you, and, they'll give you advice like, hey, like try like a walk run, or, just try walking to start. And then, once you progress, a little jog for 2 minutes, walking for 3, until, you get to where you want to be.
Yeah, a slow build up. It's the only
Yeah.
way to actually progress in general.
Yeah, that's with anything.
Would you say that you had a good support team? I mean, you have these trainers who helped you out, but even outside of that, when you feel like in your past that you were in difficult situations, did you think that it was okay that you were in them because you had that support? Should you need to fall back on it?
Yes, I actually have a very good support team. Like my family, they, whatever I do, they make sure like I don't quit. Like it's, like I do competitions and everything, and like when you're doing a bodybuilding competition, that is a test of will. That's how you're gonna know like, hey, do you really have it or not? Because every day, 7 days, 6 meals, the same thing for
Whoa.
sometimes like 6. Like one time I did it for 8 months, and that will test you.
Oh my God. Can you give me an example of what like a regimen of a week looks like during that 8 months?
Eating wise,
Yeah, please.
okay, so let's say one day breakfast is oatmeal and probably 10 egg whites.
God.
Yeah, so imagine eating that for 7 or 8 months,
You put a
7
lot of
days a week.
salt on that, or
No
not at all?
salt, no sugar. You have to cut back.
Oh my God.
Probably 2 or 3 hours later.
Holding your nose while you're eating them?
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously?
oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's to the point that sometimes I have to like, it's so bad that I have to like you said, hold my nose and just eat, just get it over with, because I don't want to eat it, because you're eating the same thing for 8 months. Like you're like, I'm over it.
Yeah, I can
Like,
imagine.
Yeah, probably
nuts.
2 or 3 hours later I'll have like sweet potato, like natural sugars. Then 2 or 3 hours later, like spinach, fish, or chicken. So it's more like a high protein based type of diet, and low carbs and moderate fats, avocado, almonds, just to get to your goal. But it's a test.
And then the week of the tournament, I know that you're supposed to dehydrate before you're
Depleted.
bodybuilding.
Yeah,
So does that mean you're not eating? Like,
well, you're eating the same thing. It's the depletion is like you're depleting water from your body, from your muscle, and it's a slow process too. So let's say that you're drinking a gallon of water to like the day before, 8-ounce bottle of water for the day.
okay.
So if you have to function throughout the day, you're pretty cranky.
Oh
I
yeah.
can imagine.
But
You get a little woozy and stuff. Too,
yes,
You know.
a little dizzy. So my suggestion is the day before, just take that day off. If you have to work or whatever you're doing, just like stay home, because it's not a good feeling to feel like that.
My question is how it seems like you're pushing yourself to almost your lowest point right before the tournament, and then you have to prop yourself up that day of.
Yeah.
How are you bringing yourself to be in such good, form that day?
It's just whatever you do the months or weeks before that, like that's how you're gonna see the end result. Like if you're consistent with the diet, the cardio, consistent with working out, period, then at the end you're gonna see everything. Like everything comes out, like cutting your body fat, dropping the water, getting new muscles. Like in the end, it all comes out. And the day of, you can carb up. So like you go through the torture for the week of like no carbs and tons of cardio and depleting the water, and then the day of, like, or the day before and the day of, you can carb up. So like your energy level is a little high now. So it's a sacrifice that you have to make, but it's
What does breakfast on the day of the tournament look
the
like?
day of the tournament.
Yeah.
I
That
normally
carb-heavy day.
Oh my
Shining
gosh, I
golden
can't
meal,
say
I
it. It's the best thing. It's just thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, pancakes.
Nice.
Yeah, pancakes. Yeah, little like sugar-free syrup, rice cakes with peanut butter and jelly, like Pop-Tarts.
Whoa.
Yeah, like you're carbing up because you're so depleted from not having the carbs, and then boom, introduce the carbs the day before and the day of, and it swells up the muscle. But this is what it does too, because you're still depleting water. So the extra water in your body, it's slowly pushing that extra water out. So the more carbs you introduce to your body, is the more water you're pushing out.
So it's actually a very helpful thing for the showing.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you stay tight, but you're looking full. Your muscles are looking full, like they're a lot bigger. Same thing with the salt. Like if you introduce salt to your body too, and then you're like pumping up, doing push-ups or doing the weights the day of the competition, it draws extra water out of your body, so it keeps you tight. It's a science to everything. You just have to like know what to do and like know how to do it right.
Hey guys, let's take a little break just to thank our sponsors, the Blockchain Academy. We want to thank them for letting us use their studio, their equipment to help bring these podcasts to you guys. If you want to check them out, it's at theblockchainacademy.com, where they have online courses and world-class instructors you guys should definitely check out. Again, thank you. Let's get back to the show.
Would you say there's a lot of misconceptions for losing and gaining weight? Because I've read a lot of articles. I've seen a lot of just blasting of information of this is how to lose weight, this is how to gain weight, and I read some of it and I'm like, that's so not true. Like that has never worked for me. But everyone's a little bit different. Is there still that underlying science that everyone can learn from? Like what if you were to set the record straight on how to lose or gain weight? What would you tell someone who's looking to do so?
I would say listen to your body. The most important thing, whatever works for you might not work for someone else. So you have to learn your body. Just say like, okay, if you eat a slice of pizza, then the next day, like your hands are like a little swollen or whatever. So you know your body to say like, hey, I'm going to stay away from that. Let's introduce rice or potato, like something. But you just have to know your body in order to get your goals. If you're trying to lose, if you're trying to gain, that's the key. Just know your body.
Yeah. What would be the number one tip for losing weight? Because when people ask me, there's actually a woman that I work with, and she has lost, I want to say, probably 50 to 55 pounds.
Oh, wow.
She was a big girl, and she wants to lose another 45 more. So she was big. She was short, but I was just telling her, don't eat so many carbs. Remember to eat 3 meals. They don't have to be massive meals, but you need a steady nutritional intake. That way your body goes, oh, I've got all of this food. I can get rid of the other stuff that I don't need because I've got all of these nutritions constantly coming in, and I know I'm going to get food.
Well, that's a good guideline for her that you gave her. That's excellent. But I would say, you have to find out little variables like, okay, is she doing weight training?
She walks in the morning. She does weight training. Initially, when she started asking for my assistance, she said she was lifting really heavy, and I was like, "Don't lift really heavy. Lift light. Lift for high repetitions.
Okay.
Lots of movement."
Okay.
And she was like, "Yeah, I was curling like 40s," and I was like,
Sheesh.
"Yo, you can calm down there.
She's gonna train me.
That's probably why you're getting so big."
You think?
Yeah, but she's, it's funny because now she'll come to me in the morning and she'll be like, Kyle, I've got this dress that I tried on. I haven't tried it on in months when I first bought it, and like it's too big on me. And I'm like, that's amazing.
Cool.
Like, keep at it.
That's really cool. I would say for her to lose a little bit more now, I would say she would have to cut the fats.
The fats.
Correct. So the more fats she's cutting is the more tight she'll look, and her weight will go down, but it'll be the fats that's going down. So
Okay.
the weight training is important. She can even change up her cardio. She can do like a HIIT style cardio, like high intensity training,
Right.
or she can do interval training, like I told you before, the run in, then the walk in, fast speed sprints, like anything to cut the fats.
Okay. And so that's losing weight. What about gaining it?
Gaining weight, that's the easy part. I should know about that. You just have to increase your calories, but increase your calories with good foods, because anyone can increase their calories. You can sit down and eat like 6 or 7 hamburgers, and
Right,
you know,
pile of
like
garbage.
yeah, but it's like garbage food, depending on the type of hamburgers. But it's like bigger portion of clean foods, vegetables.
Can you quickly just, because I try and tell my dad this, the difference between eating, decent portions and like eating good food.
Yeah.
I tell my dad, like, eat vegetables. I try and tell everyone this, like, eat as many vegetables as you can, because you're going to get natural carbs from those veggies anyway.
Correct.
And stay away from, oatmeal in the morning and a pasta at lunch and sushi at dinner. Like, the amount of carbs that people are unaware that they're intaking, that's the reason why there's a lot of weight gain.
So tough though, because so Kyle put me and my friend Joey on a weight loss competition a few months back, and I realized then that I was addicted to carbs and salt, and they're the freaking hardest things to cut out of your life. You're sitting there at 12 o'clock at night craving these things,
'Cause
your
your body needs it.
dying for them, yeah.
But the thing is, like it's not the carbs. You're probably like, it's the sugars.
That
Yeah.
too.
So sugar is the most addicting thing. They did an experiment with lab mice, and they gave like a few of them cocaine, then they gave them a few sugar. So like they switched them again, and they found out like all the lab mice, like they wanted like the sugar instead of the cocaine, and it was like, man, like it's addicting.
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
bad.
More potent than cocaine.
Yeah, it
bad.
is. Like
But it's
you'll be
not. But no one's saying like sugar's a hell of a drug.
We're
you know?
snorting sugar,
No, but
bullets
it's-
and everything.
It's true. Your body's like so used to like sugars. Like if you try to cut sugar out of your diet for 2 days, you'll be like, wow, like this is serious.
You feel frail. It makes you feel a little weak, man.
Correct.
It's
And the
true.
science behind that is your brain is burning that glucose, which carbohydrates break down into glucose,
and turns
and it
into
burns it
sugar.
faster, and therefore you store the extra leftover glucose because you are having that immediate energy of the glucose in your brain instead
Yes.
of the natural fats, right, from
Correct.
avocados or almonds or such
Correct.
foods.
That's why I said you have to add the good fats.
Okay.
That gives you energy. Oh, well put.
Oh, thanks, man. I try and stay up on
Yes,
my,
I see.
know-how.
It's very good.
Also picking the brains of the people around you.
Well, that's what you do. Like myself included. Like like I'll watch someone do a workout. I'm like, okay, what's that? And they look at me like, dude, you're a trainer. Like you don't know. But it's like, no. Like I want to add it to my workout, or taking the same workout and kind of flipping it to make it like a little bit better, or like with my flavor. Even with nutrition, if I see someone eating something, I'm like, why are you eating that? What's that? Like, what does it do? And it's a never-ending thing. Like you're always learning, because there's so many different things out there to kind of like grow from.
Do you have like a main trainer that works with you, or it's just you're absorbing from everybody around
It's
you?
whatever like I've learned. Yes, I have a workout partner that
Okay.
and this is I would say honestly, this is the first time that I've like worked out with someone that like they actually correct me with my form.
Really?
Yeah.
Who is this
And,
person?
Anthony Anderson. Like he's really good. If I'm doing like an exercise, he's like, hey, like keep your stomach tight, or like squeeze the muscle or contract the muscle, and I'm like, man, like damn, like I thought I knew everything, but
Right.
but he's like more like technical, and it helps me grow too, because he'll send me things from like YouTube or like something that he's reading. He'll like send it to me like, hey, check this out, and I'm like, I'm reading it. I'm like, damn, like okay, it's a good
Makes
information.
sense.
Yeah, and like I think, like I said, a good support system.
Right.
So that actually helps, big time. But he's good. He works at New York Sports Club in Inglewood Cliffs.
Nice. Are you in the off season right now? Like, what's your schedule?
Yeah,
look like?
all season, like anything goes.
You mean diet-wise or workout-wise?
Diet wise, workout wise, anything goes. But I don't go too crazy, because having to like go back into like the on season, and then you're like,
I mean, you're definitely an in shape looking dude for
what?
sure.
No, that I learned my lesson over the years. Like off season, I would pick up 50 to 60 pounds,
Oh my god.
and then having to cut that, it's like, oh my
Oh.
goodness, this is
Yeah.
death. So like off season now, like I'll have a balance of food. I'll have like good foods, bad foods, but I'll know when to have certain type of foods. Um, after For my body type, after 4 p.m., I try not to like introduce too many carbs, like bad carbs to my system. Higher protein, fats I don't need. But
You don't need.
no, like after 4 p.m. for my body, because like I have late nights when I'm done, because I'll start 6 in the morning and I'll finish like 9, 8:30 at night. So like throughout the day, like I'm constantly going. So I'll have my good fats in the morning with some carbohydrates and protein, just to keep me going.
And I'm curious, in like retro fitness, I'm sure there's like a bodybuilding culture there, a culture between the trainers. Is there kind of a darker side to that culture? Because I'm imagining steroid use in bodybuilding competitions. And
Yes,
stuff
it
like
is.
That, and if you
It's
see that around.
well, like I do NPC, and NPC, they people claim that everyone that does NPC is
What's NPC?
NPC is a Natural Physique Federation, I believe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it's it's a higher level from the natural shows, and you have guys there that some of them do, some of them don't. And
Can you tell always when it's somebody who does, or you feel like you kind of
you can't really tell, because like someone that's natural can put in the same work but eat certain foods that actually helps like boost their testosterone levels up. So
and that's legal to do?
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's just food, right?
Just food, right?
yeah, it's just food, but it has like the same properties of like the chemicals that you put in your body. So you can't really tell unless you see like some like bodybuilders, men and women, with distended stomachs. So it's kind of like either HGH or insulin that they're putting into their body. It's like those signs you can see, or you'll see like the shoulders are like really like huge and round. It's like
I mean, I don't know.
there's
Your
signs.
shoulders are pretty huge
hey,
and
well,
round.
this is off season. Not doing anything. I have to.
What
eat
about
it.
pimples on the back?
Yes,
That's
That's-
kind of an
that is
a
that.
tell.
It is, because either their kidneys or liver is trying to like burn some of the stuff off, or like get it out of their body, so it's toxins, so it's gonna come out of your body some way. So you'll see like acne on the back, on the face. It's a lot of different signs. But if you're in the business, like you look and you're like, oh, okay, like it's one of the things that it's known, but no one really talks about it.
Right. And through your journey, did you feel like you maybe were looking for an easy way out at any points, or that it was tempting you in any
Well,
way?
no, because either way, that only helps you like with your workout, but you still have to work out hard. Like you
Right.
still have to diet. Like the main thing that people don't understand, like it's the stuff that you use, it's not gonna really help you that much. It'll give you like a little edge to say like, okay, you'll work out 15 or 20 minutes longer, or you'll do like, you do an hour, then you do like that extra 30 minutes of cardio. That's all it does. Like it just helps you like feel better, increases your energy level, like your libido, like all that stuff. But you still have to put in the work. You still have to watch what you eat, and like be consistent.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to turn into a cloud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Into
it's
a cloud? Just
Yeah,
like a cloud
yeah.
of mush?
Yeah, cloud of
it's-
mush, because then you're just eating whatever. You're like, I've got all of these supplements, and I'm actually curious, where does the like community draw the line? Because everyone's taking supplements, right? Vitamins, amino acids, whatever it might be.
Stuff. Well, I see people like almost like they took Adderall when they take their supplements. You get very wired on some of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Like some of the
and
pre-workouts.
the
that's like kosher to
pre-workouts.
take in the community.
Yeah, but like for my body, like I can't really do all that stuff because I have like heart issues. But it's like, okay, why take like a C4, or not saying it's bad because it might help other people, but for me, like if I took a C4, that's going to increase your heart rate, and then you're going to go work out, which is increasing your heart rate again. So it's like, it's kind of like insanity, like to to do that. You just have to be careful. But that's why you see them like all hyped up or like have like energy for days because
they're pumping.
Yeah, the blood is pumping, the heart is pumping.
But where is that line drawn between someone who in a competition is full blown on steroids and is just pumped like a balloon, and then someone who is just taking the supplements that are proper and nutritional and is keeping in line with the regulations, so to speak?
Well, they do testing like after the show because I did nationals.
Oh wow!
And it was Team U. And, I went to use the bathroom and I saw like, the judges like bringing two guys in there. I'm like, okay, like what's going on here? But I've never seen that. So like to actually like see like, hey, like they do like, like random testing.
That was like the testing going,
yeah, it was like, okay, cool. Like that's good. That's a good sign to see that because, if you're busting your butt like all the months and you putting in the hard work and not saying it's bad because, like some people need it. As you get older, like your testosterone levels like drop or whatever else. So they do have like, they take it because of therapy. So, they have like a little edge or just to say like, hey, like I can't compete with this 21-year-old and 19-year-old.
Yeah.
So I have to take like a little enhancements just to kind of like help me like with the little edge that I'm like lacking. So, it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
And how are people in your culture like looking at those kind of guys? Like you're 35 years old, you lost your edge, I guess, and you have a competition going up, and I guess your pride, you don't want to let it down.
Yeah.
So you end up, shooting up a tiny bit to give you that extra juice. Is that someone who you're like, all right, he's got to do what he's got to do, or what the hell, guy?
Well, no. If your doctor is saying if you go and you check your levels and
so this can be medically prescribed.
Yes, it can.
Interesting.
Yeah, because like some guys like after a certain like time like age like they like either like don't produce that much testosterone or their testosterone levels drop, estrogen levels increase. So it's kind of like therapy, like hormone therapy. So
Interesting.
yeah, so you can't just say like okay, like someone's like doing competition because you never know. Like you don't know what their levels are. It's not a bad thing. It's just to say like, hey, like what? They need like that little edge to kind of like get them, back on point. And it's not like they're like doing like massive amounts. Like if someone's doing massive amounts, like you clearly would know. Like
the signs show up.
Yeah, gotcha. Exactly. So therapy wise, I don't think it's bad, me personally, because like your body over a period of time, the older you get, your body like slowly like, drops down.
Do?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you recommend any workouts that everyone should be doing?
I would say more functional movements are better for everyone.
What do you mean by that?
Functional movements lead into what I said, like, you want to feel better, like when you're standing up and you're putting your hands on your knees to get up.
Right.
You don't want to do that. So you want to do more functional stuff to keep you like a little bit more active, just to help your range of motion, workouts that work your total body and save you time.
During your workout, you're saying, so someone who's in the gym for an hour, someone who doesn't work out goes, I don't have an hour to give.
So you give them 30 minutes and give them like a functional workout, like have them do like a lot of different workouts to work 4 or 5 different muscles at a time, but they're doing it correctly.
Like, for example, what is like 2 or 3 different things that you could do as a functional workout? Let's say you're in a 30-minute period and you're looking at me. Just
perfect. Give Ben some
Classic
instructions.
schlub.
Okay,
What
so
would
you
you send
can
me?
you can do seated, squat, stand, and press. So you're sitting down in a chair or sitting down on a bench, then you're gonna stand up and press a ball or the weights over your head.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's it's more functional. So it's like just like you're sitting down in a chair, you're standing up out of the chair, but then now you're adding like a pressing movement. So you're using a lot of different muscles just to burn more calories.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And would that person also want to be on a cardio regimen as you go? And do you consider that a
Well,
functional?
cardio, it's a given because you want to strengthen your heart. It's not just the body, like like stuff that you see.
Right.
Internally, you want to strengthen your heart because cardio is good for you. It helps. It has like many it like many effects on the body, and it helps like a lot of different things. You know, burns
Everything's connected
calories.
within the body.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I know you said you had some heart problems. Do you feel like you're fighting against your heart when you're working out a lot, or is it a
Well,
motivation?
no, I know. Like my body tells me.
Oh man.
Like during my competition, you know, like I was training. I was teaching a class, and then I'm just standing there, and I got like a little dizzy. I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna pass out.
oh
Oh
man.
shit.
Yeah, so like, you know, like I was like, okay, just breathe, stay still, and then eventually like it went down. So, you know, like
Whoa.
now I'm learning my body. So like
Mhm.
any little signs, or like if like my hands are shaking or any little thing, I'm like, okay, you know what, let me just go and eat. And then that, you know, picks me back up.
Damn. There's a constant state of, learning because your body changes. So
Yes, it does.
you have to stay in that student mindset, learn
Yeah.
from the people around you,
Mhm.
and then learn from yourself even. Because
Yeah.
if everything is connected and people get lost in that aesthetic of, I'm working out to look good.
Yeah.
And they forget that working out, yeah, it helps you look good if you work out to look good,
Correct.
but it also helps you function, think better, feel good when you wake up in the morning, have more energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
People
It's a-
forget that.
Oh, well, it's true. It's a lot of benefits with working out. Like you said, it's not just the aesthetics. It's just functioning better, feeling good, energy level. Just getting like a total like fitness going on. It's not just the looks. Like everyone wants the looks, but it's like,
Right.
you know what? Focus on feeling better first, and the looks will come.
It's hard to look past the looks, but
Of course.
yeah,
Of course. No, it's true because
you see these guys.
yeah, but you know what? You can
What
only
up?
do what
Yeah.
yeah.
Freaking guy.
You're crazy. You can only do like what works for you. Like eventually, like it will come if you're consistent. Like
Right.
that's the part that it's going through the process of saying like, hey, I'll do this for 5 months, and within the 5 months, you're like, okay, I'm not seeing any changes. Like what's going on? But you
Mhm.
just have to keep doing it, and eventually, little by little, like you're gonna be like, oh wow, like I see this ab coming in, or
Yeah.
so it's
Those side
yeah,
obliques.
like,
yeah,
so-
side six
yeah,
pack,
you see
man.
that
Haven't
stuff,
felt
and it's
that one
like-
yet myself. Sorry, guys.
it's just if you see like little changes, it makes you want to keep going and doing more.
Right.
Or if you're in a gym and you see like this lady, like a 72-year-old lady doing push-ups 20, and you're only doing 2, you're like, okay,
Damn.
yeah, like like I have to like get on my game. And you know what? Next month I'm doing 2 this month. Next month my goal should be 10.
Right.
So it's just a process that you go through.
Keep moving forward.
Yeah, and then you and the lady, you gotta have like push-up competitions.
I know we were talking before the show that you were telling me that you liked shows like Dragon Ball Z. Do you feel
listen.
like I'm gonna bring this stuff up? I'm just wondering if you feel that there are certain forms of media and entertainment that helped push you and motivate you and gave you the kind of strength that you wanted to be what you want to
Funny
be.
that you said that, because yes,
Okay.
like with the Dragon Ball Z, like you see Goku and all these characters, you're like, man, like this guy's shoulders or arms or like these guys have 6-pack, but it's anime, but it's just like you're in this fantasy world to say like, man, I want to look like that.
They get you, man.
Yeah, you go to the gym. Everything correlates. You go to the gym and you're working out like a Super Saiyan.
Hell yeah.
Just to get those arms, but yeah.
You feel like you want to reach that next plateau,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Go Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, Super Saiyan 2. There you go, Super Saiyan Blue.
Oh,
There you
throw
go.
it out.
Ah.
Hell yeah. So, what are some of your goals moving forward? So, you were just in nationals. Were you in semi-pro or pro? Or I guess it's amateur.
It's
or pro?
amateur. Yeah.
Okay.
So the next goal is to be a pro. I have a lot of things that I have to work on, but I'm not far away from it. But I think if I work on the little things, like I should be good. It's just keeping that drive, like I said before, like going, because I'm getting older. I'm 40. So, like keeping a drive, like it's not easy. Every month, every year, every day, it gets a lot harder. But, eventually I'll get there.
And what's the requirements of going pro?
Requirements for going to pro, you have to do a national show, Team U or the Pittsburgh Nationals. and
Do you have to place a certain place in them?
to first place.
Oh, you have to be in first place to be
Yeah,
Holy
first or
shnikes.
Pittsburgh is top 2.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's tough because you're going up against, like all these guys that have been doing it for 15, 20 years. Like I just started.
How long have you been doing this, you said?
Bodybuilding. I started
When was that
I was,
burger?
Well, the burger was
that was after the burger.
the burger
Yeah.
was to become a trainer.
Yeah,
But the
the
bodybuilding,
body-
how long has this been?
It started at 32.
Wow.
Only
Yeah.
8 years
Wow,
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's surprising. And, most of these guys have been doing it since they were like 19, 20.
Damn.
Yeah, but, like the coaching that I got and, like the veteran trainers that helped me, like I kind of like accelerated a little faster because I knew like the science of the body. And I learned how to, like, what works for my body. So it was like trial and error. Like every time I did a show, okay, this doesn't work, let me try that. This doesn't work, let me try that. So it was like a process. And it's crazy that I got it like that fast. But like, like I read a lot, I ask a lot of questions, and I think that helped. And, I'm not ashamed to say, hey, what do I need to work on? That's the most important thing because like, you have to evaluate yourself sometimes and, and just take a step back and just like look and see like, hey, like I have to
It's cool. It's cool.
really get on point.
No worries.
Yeah.
Well, Daine, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to let you go to that training session you've got going on. That's what that reminder was. I know it.
Like, oops.
Yeah, really appreciate you having you on the show today.
So I'm going to give a little sign off. But before I do, is there anyone that wants to reach you, any of the listeners, where can they reach you at? Please.
Well, they can reach me on Instagram, DTC Fitness, or they can go on the web, DaineChang.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good domain.
DaineChang.com, right
That's
on.
my full name. That's it.
You have Asian heritage as well?
Yes.
Where from?
Asian and Jamaican.
Interesting combo. I love
Nice.
it. I love it, man. Jerk chicken's my spot, man.
That's right. I'm
where it's
Asian.
at. Yeah. That's good stuff. Well, thank you, Daine.
No, thank you
I
guys for
appreciate you
having
having
me. It was fun. Hopefully, I get a chance to do it again.
Hell yeah. We would
Hell
love
yeah,
to have you
man.
back.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode on the Disconnection Podcast, where we aim to inform, inspire, and close the disconnections in your life. We'd like to thank our guest, Daine Chang, for joining us today and delivering a unique perspective on a range of topics. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on iTunes and YouTube. My name is Kyle,
I've been Ben.
and we'll catch you on the next episode of Disconnection.